it happened today. A thing happened to me today. And I wanted to address it. Racism. How I feel about it. What it's like. You know. So for those that watch this later, or for those that rock with me live, it was an interesting exchange. Hey Carly, thanks for coming back. I wanted to address the racism and the abuse that I say we, for those that were live with me, talking about economy and inflation and stuff like that. You know, how do you deal with that? You know, we got some troll come on my channel and start calling me the N-word, spelling it out, the audacity to spell it out. Call me that word. How do I feel about it? How do I take it? You know, let's talk about racism in general around the world. What's that like? You know, when I was younger, you know, something like that would have ticked me off. You know, that would have been fighting words for me as a kid. I'm a grown man, you know, and so those type of words don't bother me. It, to me, is a reflection. Whenever I hear racist terms used for anybody, whether it be towards a black person, an Asian person, even a white person, you know, to me, that's a reflection of the person saying it. That they could be so rude to somebody that they don't know, come on a channel like mine, where I'm open to all, and call me the N-word. Literally, spell it out. Call me the N-word. How do I take it? And I've been thinking about it since it happened about, what time is it, 4:30 now? And it happened about, I don't know, 4 hours ago. And it's been kind of in and out of my mind. And so I've blocked the person, I think I have, and I've reported it to YouTube. And, you know, I don't know what happens. But it got me thinking about freedom of speech, freedom of expression, what that means in my country, and what does that mean in the United Kingdom. So in the United Kingdom, you know, you can't say those kind of words to people. You can't incite what they call racial hatred towards somebody. And this person who came on my channel came in our chat that we were having and started calling me the N-word. You know, saying that he couldn't talk to a black person. He didn't want to watch a black person on screen. I'm like, well, why are you on my channel in the first place? I can't hide that the skin color that I have is the skin color that I have. I can't change that fact. But then, you know, I was like, go ahead. You know, if you want to get it out of your system, if you think you're going to get a reaction out of me, you're sadly mistaken. Yeah, I saw him call you a name. And if he wants to, if people like that want to come on and think they're going to get a reaction out of me, they're sadly mistaken. Calling me the N-word doesn't bother me in the sense that I'm above it. You know, I can just walk away. I don't, you know, even if somebody said it to me on the streets, you know, I can walk away because I never have to see you again. It's just kind of like road rage. Why have road rage? I'm never going to see you again. I never have to interact with you again. And it's just sad that you have such a mindset that you think that you want to put everybody in little pockets. Black people here, white people here, Asian people there, Indian people here, etc., where we're all one human race. You know, we're all Homo sapiens. You know, we have different ethnicity. We have different culture. You know, we have different hair. We have different skin tone. But we're still all one species. If we get attacked by the Martians tomorrow, they're not going to care who's white, who's Asian, who's black. You know what I mean? They wouldn't care. They want to get rid of the human species. But, you know, it got me thinking, like, that's been a long time since somebody's had the balls to call me that word. You know, to call me the N-word. And disrespect me, disrespect you, as we have our chats as we go, you know. And I don't know, I just want you guys to know, you know, the people who really come on my channel frequently, Carly, Jew, Sit and Spin, VC, you know, etc., etc., that I'm fine. You know, it didn't, you know, I'm fine. It didn't hurt my feelings. I ain't crying in the corner. I just thought, you know, I just wanted to address, make you guys know that I was okay, because it happened at the latter part of our conversation. You know, I believe somebody just talked about reverse racism. You know, I believe that reverse racism can exist. And I'll tell you an example. I seen an example. Now, I know this is more towards the political aspect of it all, but I was overseas. I say overseas, I was like in the Middle East, and you could see people angry at people who were speaking Russian. You know, like I was just like, and these were like other white people, you know, Russian people, you know, well, Russian people in, you know, what they call ethnically Russian are white, essentially. And it was like, it was bad. I remember seeing it. I was just like, ooh, this is pretty bad. But, you know, I've seen people discriminate against all types, whether they were white, whether they were black, whether they were Indian, and then what God they believed in, especially like Muslim or Hindus or Sikhs. You know, I've seen that kind of stuff. Now, I don't associate with people like that, but I've seen it. And it's a sad world that we live in, that people care so much to want to elevate themselves over somebody else. And, you know, where this world is hard enough as it is, we're all born into this world, and it's already hard enough. We don't need to divide ourselves even further than what governments try to do. And you know, we don't need to be doing that. We should rise above that. You know, I treat people fairly. You know, when it comes to sexual orientation, I can give a rat's butt who you sleep with. It don't affect me. It don't have any impact on me. I don't care who you love. Don't impact me. Don't care your skin color, your race, your religion. Don't bother me. Don't impact me. Now, if you're trying to impart that onto me, that's when we can have the debate, the conversation piece of it all. But yeah, Carly, I'm sorry you had to go through that. You know, it's been a long time since somebody said that, but you know, for those joining kind of now, you know, earlier today I went live and I was trying to talk about inflation and housing and stuff like that, and how that impacts me, and how that's going to impact you, and how that's going to impact my tenants. Not talking about that. Some guy comes on and starts calling me the N-word, spelling it all out. You know, I think he wrote it on one of them with a strong R he put on there, and I just was like, you know, to your heart's content. You know, not gonna stop me or hurt me. I got tougher skin than that. You know, and I don't know. I just wanted to let my regulars know that I'm fine. It didn't bother me. I'm sorry that you guys had to see that and go through that. You know, I saw Carly, he spelled out see you next Tuesday. I saw that. So I'm sorry that you had to have that. But sometimes there's trolls. And so it got me thinking, like, I'm going to find a way to make, you know, a couple of you guys moderators, you know, so if I'm just live, you guys can kick these people out. So I'm gonna have to find some way to do that on the computer, not on my phone, so that we don't have to deal with that kind of stuff. You know, most people are decent people, Claire. Most people are. You know, that's my experience. And so, one that I wanted to go live is also talk about, you know, I've done a video on my channel about racism in the UK and how I don't see it on a day-to-day basis. I just have not experienced it. Now, I find it funny that people have told me that the reason I don't experience it or see it is because I'm American. I go, that's ridiculous, because before I say a word, I'm always going to be a black man walking into any room. So before I speak, it don't matter. You're not going to hear my accent. You're going to see my skin tone. And just like with anybody else, before you say a word, I'm going to see what you look like. Everybody says that. Everybody says that, intellectual nerd. It's more subtle. I don't believe, I have yet. Now, I will agree that because I probably wasn't born in it, that maybe I don't see it, but I find it very hard to see. You know, I find it very hard to see because I've always, I don't know. I just find it hard to see. So I'm waiting on somebody to show me, because I got black friends here in the UK. I got black people who were born here, raised here. I've gone places with them and I've never seen it, you know. So, yeah. Yeah, first time being called a name on YouTube as well. 1 second, guys. 1 second. Gotta really get my camera situated how I want it. So, let's check some of these things. But intellectual nerd, they say UK racism is very subtle. I want to make sure I'm clear. I'm not saying racism doesn't exist in this country. It clearly will, and it clearly does, but it exists in every country in some shape or form or fashion. The question is, have I experienced it? And the answer to that is no. Cherry time. Summer is one of my favorite seasons because cherries are abundant. So just grab some stuff for this barbecue later today. So yeah. Let me hit this roll. And strawberries are in season, so I like that as well. Okay, time to go to Tesco's or Asda. Make sure I go the right way. Excuse me, I'll get back to the conversation at hand. 1 second. We're talking racism. We're talking about what happened to me and you about 4 hours ago in one of my live videos, where somebody came on and had the nerve, the gall to call me the N-word. Crazy. But it is what it is, and that's what it is, so it don't matter. Woo. Excusez-moi as I get this tasty beverage down me throat. You know, will we ever live in a world where there is no racism? No. I mean, we all know that even in the most homogeneous societies, they find a way to discriminate against people. So it's part of the human nature to be us versus them. What clan you come from or what tribe you come from, you know, what part of the continent or the country you come from. That's human nature. So I think everybody should have that expectation that there is no racism will always exist. Doesn't matter. You know, we could send to Mars tomorrow 100 people who are all the same height, race, eye color. Check back 100 years later, and they would have divided themselves up. You know, it'd be a population of like 10,000 people 100 years later, and those 10,000 people will be divided. It's just human nature, because 1,000 of them have morphed from having blonde hair to having brown hair, and then it would be the cast outs. Yeah. Hoping everybody's having a good Saturday. Yeah, Carly, you got nothing to apologize for. I appreciate the sentiment and apology, but we didn't invite that fool here. What's my opinion on non-black people saying the actual N-word when referencing it or reading a text with the word in it? Good question, Thomas. Jesus, that's a great question. I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna give you a prime example. Okay? So you know Kanye West's song, All of the Lights. All of the likes. And this is for you, Phil, because I know you watch when you get home. There's this part where he talks about Michael Jackson being dead. And you know, the N-word come up. And it's a song. So everybody's just singing it, rocking out to it. But everybody white. And I'm sitting there rocking out with it. And you know, everybody want to say the lyric. And it's like they all stop and look at me. Can we say it? You know? And then one girl said it. And everybody looked at me, looked at her, and said, you can't say that. You know? Now, for me, personally, I have no problem with it when it comes to musical lyrics and it being said or being read, because that is the intention of the artist to have that word there. And so, if you're singing it, you're singing it. That's my take. There's a big difference from coming on and using that word in a hateful manner. But if the artist, the poet, the person who wrote the movie script put that word in there, it's in there for a reason. And it should be there. So that's my take. Now other people, you know, Thomas, might not like that word used around them, period. But I'd be a hypocrite, because people know, you can walk in a room right now and know, oh, if I'm on the phone and you hearing me saying in this, in that, people know within 99% accuracy who I'm talking to on the phone. Because when I start talking to some of my friends, I don't use the word every day. I probably rarely use it, unless I'm listening to music. But, you know, if I'm talking to my friends back at home, you know, the word can start flying around pretty liberally. But there we go. I'm back. I ain't going anywhere. I plan to be. We've been going live for about 20 minutes. I got at least a Jesus Christ. The internet always in. That's these. Hey Claire, I'm sorry. It's not the best time to go live because I'm driving, but I wanted to finish the conversation about racism properly, but I'm running errands at the same time. I got a barbecue to go to. So gotta go to Tesco's, get some food. Where we at? Okay. Yeah, getting some limoncello. As you know, the world, what you know. Hey, I'm back. I hope I'm back. I can almost see it. It's like over the hill, like running up. I'm running up that hill. I'm telling you, I'm trying to get back to civilization. As soon as I get out of this farmland, then I'll have a stable connection. Yes, I think I've survived the void of the internet. It's bad. You know, it's bad. It's funny, I see people on TikTok sometimes. They drive and they do these live talks on their TikTok. And I wonder, how come I'm always the one running out of internet? But when they on TikTok, they just seem to go in conversation. So for those of the recently, 4 hours ago, me, you were hit with a bunch of racists. Well, one racist came on my channel and started calling me the N-word, thinking he was gonna get a reaction out of me. Not gonna happen. Ain't gonna bother me, because I got tougher skin than that. Words don't hurt me. Here we go. Pierre Noir, #1 in that range, is Negro. Yeah, Negro is black in Spanish, which is Spanish for black, yes. I butchered it, utterly butchered the pronunciation. Uh-oh. I get it. I get it. I get it. Negro. Negro. But it's not Negro, but it's Negro, which just means black. Even though it just means the word black. Okay, now I'm back into civilization. I should be good. I should be good. I should be good. Let's get going. Let's see where we at. Okay. Ooh, excuse me. Excusez-moi. What a day, what a day, what a day. So yeah, we got hit by a troll on the account. That's why I say I'm gonna make sure I set up Carly and Jude and a few of you guys as moderators. So if that ever happens again, y'all can just erase the fool, block them, get it off. We don't need that kind of stuff as we chatting. But I was saying, we're talking about racism, UK racism, internet racism. What happens? What's it like? That was the first time it's ever happened to me. You know, people like to remain anonymous and hide behind names and who they are, but don't ever let names get you down. I bet, Jude. I bet. Trying to pronounce Negro. It happens. It can happen. It can happen. You know, intent is always the most, to me, when it comes to racist words, or not even necessarily racist words. Sometimes it could be words that have kind of fallen out of flavor in terms of their usage. The word I think about right now that really comes to mind is the word retarded. It's really fallen out of flavor in terms of how you can use that word. Can you use that word? And sometimes to me the intent of how that word is being delivered to somebody matters. You know, I don't necessarily call people retarded, but you know, just to pick a word. I think there was a word recently that's kind of hit the internet with Beyonce. She used some word. Man, what's that word? Spaz. And I had no idea that spaz is kind of short for something. And it's kind of derogatory now. Who knew? I didn't know. Somebody spaz out. I literally never knew it really had a clinical connotation to a word that had now fallen out of flavor. But the intent matters. I haven't listened to this Beyonce song where the word is in, so I don't know the intent in which it's been used. But apparently that's creating an uproar. Oh, I got a headache. But yeah, this guy hitting my channel, hitting a racist to me, you know, was really, I was like, you know, let your heart out. Let everybody know how stupid you are. Let everybody know. Spastic, that's the word. Yeah, I never heard the word before. For those that don't know about it. 8:30, yeah. 8:30. That'll be fun. Trying to figure out where I'm at. Yo, where you going, Carly? Where you going? Where's my invite? I want to come. If it's somewhere nice, I'm coming. If it's somewhere nice, I'll be there. Where are you going Friday, Carly? I need to know this. Be somewhere nice. And close, though. Gotta be close. I didn't spend too much money on this summer holiday. Where are you off to, Carly? I want to know. Somewhere nice, I hope. Yes, take us all with you. Where? Let's guess where Carly's going Friday. I think there's a bank holiday into Spain in August. So I'm thinking I'm gonna go there for my vacation from the vacation. Okay, there should be no more internet interruption. Now I'm in town now. This thing goes down, I'll be upset. There should be no more internet interruption. I get 5G around here. All right, but where in Spain? That's crazy. 5 days in Spain, though. Let me guess. Is mine in Spain? Yes? No? So Benidorm is in Spain. That's where you're going. No, you're going to Shagaloof. That's in Spain, right? Yes? Shagaloof is in Spain? That's where Carly's going. She's going to Shagaloof, Spain. That's where she's going. I've guessed it properly. I think we've located where you're going. Shagaloof in Spain for 5 days of exotic men. Benidorm. Hey, I was actually right the first guess. I was actually right. Benidorm. Wow, crazy. That's crazy, Jude. You went there at 21, really? And how old are you now, Carly? That's the $1 million question. Benidorm. Now, what is Benidorm known for? Is that like a nice place? I've only ever heard of Magaluf, Shagaloof. Is that like Little Britain? Shagaloof was Tenerife, Carly. Nobody's that old to go clubbing. Nobody's too old to go clubbing. I saw easily snogging some kid at a club in Spain with her granddaughter right there. So nobody's too young to go to go clubbing. Benidorm. Nice. Here we go. If I lose internet connection here, I'll be upset because I'm in town. Ain't no way. I'm on 5G now. Ain't no way. Ain't no way it should go. Ah, you staying with friends. Nice, nice. All right. I don't know anybody in Spain. But cool. I think I gotta. I'm too old, Carly says. Too old. Yeah. Yes. Child free, very important, Carly. Bring your best swimsuit. Bring your best swimsuit. Yes. 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 Where's Tesco's? No, Asda. Okay, cool. Oh, I got a headache. Matter of fact, I got some pills in here, don't I? My glasses. Let's turn into Mr. Cool. I'll be back. I thought I had some pills. Right here, man, what pills good? Headache, sorry guys. I think I put them in the house. So we were talking UK racism. I want to stick to the point, to the thumbnail of the video. Now that the internet is back and we're at 5G, so it shouldn't corrupt. The lesson of the day is this: we need to become more tolerant of others. We need to treat people how we want to be treated, and stop thinking that we individually or in our small collective little groups are better than one another. You know, we're all going through this journey of life. None of us are in the 1% of the 1% of the world. None of us. None of us. None of us. I sure as hell ain't got no billions of dollars. Okay? Because if I did, the production value of these videos would be a lot better. But we don't, you know, we all going through this life trying to make ends meet, you know, trying to make ends meet, trying to raise families or be in relationships and just go through the life experience. Life is short. You know, yesterday was the 1-year anniversary of my older brother dying from COVID. 1 year. It came up on my phone, my Facebook. I totally forgot. You know, I totally forgot. And, you know, it just reminds me how short life is. I mean, Reggie would have been, what, 45? Yeah, 45, going on 46. And he's gone. It's been a year. And you can spend however many short years you think you're going to have on this earth trying to divide people, trying to hurt people, trying to be evil. Or you could try to be positive and try to be good and try to do something decent with your life. You know, the other day when I was in LA, for example, I was in LA and I went to a burger spot called In-N-Out. And I didn't have to do this. But I'm in the line buying my food, and there's this old lady, 2 old ladies. They easily like 85. They old. They're not like 60. They're not 70. They clearly in their 80s. And I'm watching this old lady struggle to pay for her food with her card. And I just was like, look, don't even trip. Here's $20. I bought the food for them. I bought their food. And I didn't want no thank you. They didn't have to give it back. I didn't ask for nothing. It's just being kind to people. When you're seeing people struggling, when you're seeing people need a hand up, be the hand out. You know? Be the hand out. Take time to understand people. I can give you another prime example. What is it today? Today's what, Saturday? I went to get fuel on Wednesday. There was a lady sitting in front of Tesco's asking for a spare change. I didn't have no spare change on me. I didn't have any on me. I didn't even have my wallet on me. You're welcome. As I speak of old lady, there's an old lady crossing the road. But what did I do? I took the time and I talked to her and I just said, you know, I don't have any spare change, unfortunately, but what's your life story? Take the time to talk to some people. Everybody going through the human condition. Everybody. We just trying to live this life. You know? If I had spare change, I'd have gave the lady some spare change. I didn't have any. Because a lot of times I didn't carry, given that everything could be paid contactless, I don't even bring my wallet out half the time. So, let me park up and chat with you guys for just a hot second since I'm here at the Tesco's. And then see what I can do. Okay. So, let me exactly. Sometimes people just want to listen. In my youth, when I was Carly's age at 21, you know, I donated my time to a homeless shelter. I would go to this homeless shelter. I'm in college. I'm in university. I got plenty of stuff I could be doing. I could have been chasing women. There were plenty of women to be chased when I was in college. You know, but I would donate my time unbeknownst to anybody. Nobody knew this. I didn't tell any of my teammates. I didn't tell none of my coaches. I didn't tell none of my friends. I just did it because I wanted to do it. And I went and I would donate my time to this homeless shelter. And I'd have conversations with people. I would help them fill out applications. I would help them do things. And what I learned was that homelessness didn't matter if you were black, white, Hispanic, Asian. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. And everybody had a story. Some of these people were working poor and they were in the shelter. And so for me, it's always been a lesson in the back of my head that's kept me going, that's defined how I've become as a full-blown adult, how I want to treat people. I know you're not 21, Carl. I said when you were. When you were! We're a lot older than 21. that you want to treat people with respect and dignity, because a lot of us, most of us, are just one accident away from being homeless or having to live on the couch or on a friend's couch, you know. And maybe I get this because my parents have shown me this as a kid, you know, things that I can remember as a kid but didn't appreciate until I was an adult, you know, things that my mom and dad would do for people. You know, as I think about it right now as an adult, when I was 8, 9 years old, there used to be these 2 white kids that used to come to our house. Their mom would drop them off at like 4:30 in the morning because she worked as like a waitress. And then they would just come to school. They would stay there in the morning and we would all just walk to school. And that was a sacrifice she had to do. My mom, we didn't want for nothing. They didn't ask for nothing. We didn't ask for, you know, the privilege to let them come over Monday through Friday. It was just to help this woman out who had 2 young kids. Or I think about one of my brothers now. I call him my brother CJ. He was homeless. And one day out of the blue came and asked me, could he come stay at my house in high school? I was probably, what, 16, 17? I said, okay, no problem. He ended up staying with us for a whole year because he had nowhere to go. His mom had nowhere to go. His dad is out of the picture. My mom and dad didn't ask for nothing. Come on. You need help? You need help? Stay. To this day, my dad helps people to this day. During the whole 2020 COVID pandemic, when people couldn't even go see their loved ones in a hospice, not a hospital, a hospice. They couldn't even go see them. What did my dad do? Opened up his house to let these people who were in hospice to come into his house, bring the person to my dad's house in a hospice. And the family could come to my dad's house so they could spend the last hours, days, or weeks with their loved one before they departed this earth. You know, that's how I was raised. That's the family I come from. That, yeah, if you can help, help. If you're going to come live with me, I'll help you out. If you can help to the bill, help to the bill. If you ain't got it, I got it. I'll be fine. I wouldn't invite you into my house if I can't afford my own bills. But if you need a helping hand, I'll be there to help. I got no problem helping anybody. You know, that's the kind of family, that's the kind of upbringing I got from my parents. You know, people going through this life journey of COVID, you know, in life, and they got a loved one in hospice, and they not letting anybody in hospice, afraid to spread COVID to people who are already about to die. You just be clear, everybody knows, when you go into hospice, nobody walks out of hospice. You all stay there. You die there. So it don't matter if everybody gets sick. Everybody's gonna die in there anyways. And so that's the kind of upbringing I got. You know, my dad opened his house and had people bring their loved ones out of hospice to my dad's house, and they stayed in there. I think he told me he did about 3 or 4 of them. Did like 3 or 4 of them. Why? Because these people had nowhere else to go. You know, imagine you have a loved one in a whole nother, you know, I don't know, you live in London and your loved one lives all the way in, I don't know, I'm trying to think of some town real far north, Yorkshire somewhere. I mean, they're in a hospice, but you can't go see them. And your only recourse is to get them out of the hospice. And you need to find a hospice you need to find a place close by to take them. Well, my dad was like, you know, close by. And that's what we did. That's what my dad did at least. Hell, I didn't even know he did that until he told me like a year ago. Yeah, Carly, you know, oh man, a lot of fathers do a lot of sacrifices that go unnoticed. And, you know, they go unnoticed and sometimes unappreciative. And you don't appreciate it until you are a full-grown adult yourself. When you realize, man, Dad, you were working 3 jobs just to give us what we needed in our life, you know? But, you know, that I'm trying to talk about racism in a general way, but that's really kind of that story. So I'm going to sign this video off. It's 5 o'clock, almost 5:30. It's not 7:30. If it was, I'd be in my drop top cruising the street. But, yeah, I'm about to go enjoy the rest of my day. And I'll see you guys on the next live video. All right, guys, I'm doing peace. Peace.